New housing, retail, and grocery development is popping up all around the Bay Area, but some neighborhoods are being left out of the mix.
Tonight, 10 Tampa Bay's Miranda Parnell takes us to two areas in Tampa for a deeper dive on what can be done to connect neighbors to affordable resources.
That's right. The USDA is calling these areas low income, low access, or LILA. The organization uses this designation to identify places that have limited access to healthy food, essentially areas that don't have supermarkets or typical large grocery stores. So if there's a neighborhood without one of these stores within a walkable distance and the people living in that area are below a certain economic level, it's considered low income, low access. City documents have identified East Tampa and Sulphur Springs as areas that fall into that category. And we heard from one woman who knows firsthand the struggle of having to travel for basic needs when you don't have a car. What if a simple trip to the grocery store,
it's not walking distance,
weren't so simple?
But it's a thought process in regards to getting ready and knowing the journey that you have to take, or even how many buses that you have to take to realize whether it's even worth it or not.
For some in Tampa, every errand is a meticulous plan.
100%. 100%.
Community activist Robin Lockett has lived that reality. And while she now spends her days advocating for housing rights and economic improvement, Lockett remembers her days living in Sulphur Springs without a car.
I caught 5 buses to get to work.
Whether for work or for picking up household needs, Lockett says without grocery stores in walking distance, she had to plan trips to the store based on the bus and by how much she could carry while traveling with a small child.
So I used to have to maneuver to carry groceries on the bus with me, with my child. It was a few bags here, a few bags there. So even with me on the bus with my son, it was a few bags because I can only carry so much.
That was 40 years ago, and right now Lockett says not much has changed as some neighbors in Sulphur Springs still don't have walkable access to a grocery store.
And that's the sad part, right? You have people that live here and when they identified as a food desert, it really is a food desert because there's nothing here.
A grocery store that's a half-mile or mile away probably doesn't seem far at all to a lot of folks, but if you don't have a car, that distance is going to feel a lot farther as you walk with all the groceries you can manage to carry in the Florida weather.
This is an area that has been ignored for too long.
As stores that are in the area close, City Councilman Luis Vieira has been discussing ways to bring more funding to low-income, low-access neighborhoods like Sulphur Springs and East Tampa to help with community development.
Almost 75% of the children in Sulphur Springs live in poverty. It is a food desert on trying to get a grocery store in Sulphur Springs as well as in East Tampa.
Vieira believes he and other city leaders can work to uplift these areas by investing in the community and providing more than just grocery stores.
They want to make sure that they have access to good jobs, that they have quality and affordable housing, that they have good public schools for their kids, that they have opportunity. The main idea is opportunity.
With items placed on upcoming city agendas to discuss bringing those opportunities to East Tampa and Sulphur Springs, folks who know these areas best say it can't come soon enough.
You know, it's something that's needed and not waiting for the demographics to change, for other people to come here, move in here, take over, and then you think there's a grocery store that's needed.
And I spoke with other community leaders who say they want to make sure that neighbors are consulted when it comes to deciding what they need. They say they want to make sure that the city uplifts these neighborhoods with proper investments instead of bringing in developers with unaffordable services that could push them out. In the studio, Miranda Parnell, 10 Tampa Bay.